So I'm Phil Johnson. I'm a head of software engineering. Been doing a few videos now about a book that's been really influential to me in my career about software development. I read it about 20 years ago, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Covey. Done a few videos on some of the habits so far. You can catch up on my YouTube channel if you want to on those. But today we're up to habit 5, which is seek first to understand, then to be understood. So this is a habit that to this day I find is probably one of them that's the most challenging to kind of do on a daily habit. I've got to check myself on this one quite a lot, and I'm probably not the only person. So with this one, what Covey sort of starts off by saying is that the default mode for humans going into conversations tends to be we want to get our own point of view across. And until we've actually got our own point of view across and told everybody else what we think about a topic or a subject, we tend not to listen. And the problem is a lot of people in a conversation tend to be in that same mindset at the start, you know. So everyone's trying to get their own point of view across. We tend to interrupt other people, cut them off, and we're not really listening to other people until we've got our point of view across. So what Covey suggests is that we approach a conversation differently, and that we really go in to look, before we get our own point of view across, to really listen to the other person and understand what they're saying, how they're feeling, and then we can move on to ourselves and how we're feeling and our point of view and our opinions, and then bring things together at the end of the conversation to a solution that is, you know, good for everybody. So how do you do that? How do you go into a conversation really looking to listen, and what are the techniques that you can use? So the biggest thing I think is active listening. So, you know, be curious about the other person's thoughts and opinions. Be curious about what got them to that as well. You know, things aren't just about facts, you know, people's views and opinions aren't just the facts that they're at now. There's a journey that's got us there, and often without understanding that journey, it's difficult to buy into or understand the facts that are being portrayed. So active listening is one of the key things that Covey talks about, and there are various phases of active listening. So it starts with mirroring, which is just repeating back key phrases or key words from the thing that the person's telling you, and that shows that you're listening and you're taking away the key points, you know, you understand what the key points are, but it doesn't really show that you understand what the intent is. So we move on from mirroring. The next phase of active listening is rephrasing. So this is where somebody is saying something, and rather than just mirroring back the key words or the key phrases, you rephrase them, you know, you paraphrase them, you put them into different words when you're saying that back to show that you understand. And as well, it gives the other person the opportunity to correct you if your understanding is wrong of what they're trying to say, you know. So that really helps to get a joint understanding of the facts and the journey that got the person there. Another step of active listening is empathetic listening. So when we listen with empathy, we're not just looking for the facts and the information in what the person's saying. We're looking for how they feel about it. You know, how do they feel about that now? Are there some emotions that have taken them to that point? So, you know, you might want to let the other person know that you're sensing that they feel frustrated, or you're sensing that they feel upset, or that they feel really happy about something that they've achieved, you know. And again, it's not just about the facts. So really understanding the journey that gets somebody to their viewpoint and opinion. Our backgrounds and experiences tend to lead us to the paradigms that we have, how we view things, how we understand things. And often, you know, it's very difficult to convince somebody about some facts, you know, some information. You often have to take them on the journey that you've been down to actually be convinced by that, you know, what's won you over to that point. So once you understand the other person's point of view, kind of how it's making them feel and the journey that's got them there, then you do the same for them, you know. You kind of, you know, you don't just lay out, all right, well, here's my point of view, and give them the facts or the information. You take them down that journey, you know, how did you get to that? And is there anything that, from what you've understood of their point of view and their opinions, has that changed your point of view at all during the conversation, you know? Or is it something that you feel like, you need to process a little bit more to see how that affects your point of view and your opinion. So it's really about understanding the other person and helping them to understand you, and that can get you to that win-win scenario that we discussed in the last video for habit 4. So the next habit that we'll talk about is habit 6, synergy, and we'll do that in the next video. So subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're interested in hearing more, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.